The first book of the Chronicles, starting with 1 Chronicles chapter 21. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. And David said to Joab and to the rulers of the people, Go, number Israel from Beersheba even to Dan, and bring the number of them to me, that I may know it. And Joab answered, Mighty God AHAYAH, make his people 100 times so many more as they be. But my lord the king, are they not all my lord's servants? Why then doth my lord require this thing? Why will he be a cause of trespass to Israel? Nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab. Wherefore Joab departed and went throughout all Israel, and came to Jerusalem. And Joab gave the sum of the number of the people unto David. And all they of Israel were 1,000 and 100,000 men that drew sword. And Judah was 460,000 men that drew sword. But Levi and Benjamin counted he not among them, for the king's word was abominable to Joab. And Mighty God AHAYAH was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel. And David said unto Mighty God AHAYAH, I have sinned greatly, because I have done this thing. But now, I beseech thee, do away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly. And Mighty God AHAYAH spake unto Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and tell David, saying, Thus says Mighty God AHAYAH, I'll offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. So Gad came to David, and said unto him, Thus says Mighty God AHAYAH, choose 3. Either 3 years' famine, or 3 months to be destroyed before the foes, the enemies, while that the sword of thine enemies overtaketh thee, or else 3 days the sword of Mighty God AHAYAH, even the pestilence in the land, and the angel of Mighty God AHAYAH, destroying throughout all the coast of Israel. Now therefore advise thyself what word I shall bring again to him that sent me. David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait. Let me fall now into the hand of AHAYAH, for very great are his mercies, but let me not fall into the hand of a man. So Mighty God AHAYAH sent pestilence upon Israel, and there fell of Israel 70,000 men. And Mighty God AHAYAH sent an angel unto Jerusalem to destroy it. And as he was destroying, Mighty God AHAYAH beheld, and he repented him of the evil, and said to the angel that destroyed, It is enough, stay now thine hand. And the angel of Mighty God AHAYAH stood by the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. And David lifted up his eyes, and saw the angel of Mighty God AHAYAH stand between the earth and the heaven, having a drawn sword in his hand, stretched out over Jerusalem. Then David and the elders of Israel, who were clothed in sackcloth, fell upon their faces. And David said unto Mighty God AHAYAH, Is it not I that commanded the people to be numbered? Even I it is that have sinned and done evil indeed. But as for these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, O Mighty God AHAYAH, my El Elohi, be on me and my father's house, but not on thy people, that they should be plagued. Then the angel of Mighty God AHAYAH commanded Gad to say to David, that David should go up and set up an altar unto Mighty God AHAYAH in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. And David went up at the saying of Gad, which he spake in the name of Mighty God AHAYAH. And Ornan turned back and saw the angel, and his 4 sons with him hid themselves. Now Ornan was threshing wheat. And as David came to Ornan, Ornan looked and saw David, and went out of the threshing floor, and bowed himself to David with his face to the ground. Then David said to Ornan, Grant me the place of this threshing floor, that I may build an altar therein unto Mighty God AHAYAH, that thou shalt grant it me for the full price, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Ornan said unto David, Take it to thee, and let my lord the king do that which is good in his eyes. Lo, I give thee the oxen also for burnt offerings, and the threshing instruments for the wood, and the wheat for the meat offering, I give it all. And King David said to Ornan, Nay, but I will verily buy it for the full price, for I will not take that which is thine for Mighty God AHAYAH, nor offer burnt offerings without cost. So David gave to Ornan for the place 600 shekels of gold by weight. And David built there an altar unto Mighty God AHAYAH, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings, and called upon AHAYAH. And he answered him from heaven by fire upon the altar of burnt offering. The Mighty God AHAYAH commanded the angel, and he put up his sword again into the sheath thereof. At that time, when David saw that Mighty God AHAYAH had answered him in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite, then he sacrificed there. For the tabernacle of Mighty God AHAYAH, which Moses made in the wilderness, and the altar of the burnt offering, were at the season in the high place at Gibeon. But David could not go before it to inquire of Mighty God AHAYAH, for he was afraid because of the sword of the angel of Mighty God AHAYAH. Chapter 22. Then David said, This is the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, El-Elohi, and this is the altar of the burnt offering for Israel. And David commanded to gather together the strangers that were in the land of Israel, and he set masons to hew wrought stones to build the house of Mighty God AHAYAH. And David prepared iron in abundance for the nails, for the doors of the gates, and for the joinings, and brass in abundance without weight. Also cedar trees in abundance, for the Zidonians and they of Tyre brought much cedar wood to David. And David said, Solomon my son is young and tender, and the house that is to be built for Mighty God AHAYAH must be exceeding magnifical, of fame and of glory throughout all the countries. I will therefore now make preparation for it. So David prepared abundantly before his death. Then he called for Solomon his son, and charged him to build an house for Mighty God AHAYAH, the El-Elohi of Israel. And David said to Solomon, My son, as for me it was in my mind to build an house unto the name of AHAYAH, my El-Elohi. But the word of AHAYAH came to me, saying, Thou hast shed blood abundantly, and hast made great wars. Thou shalt not build an house unto my name, because thou hast shed much blood upon the earth in my sight. Behold, a son shall be born to thee, who shall be a man of rest, and I will give him rest from all his enemies round about. For his name shall be Solomon, and I will give peace and quietness unto Israel in his days. He shall build an house for my name, and he shall be my son, and I will be his father, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom over Israel forever. Now, my son, AHAYAH be with thee, and prosper thou build the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, thy El-Elohi, as he had said of thee. Only AHAYAH give thee wisdom and understanding, and give thee charge concerning Israel, that thou mayest keep the law of AHAYAH thy El-Elohi. Then shalt thou prosper, if thou takest heed to fulfill the statutes and judgment which Mighty God AHAYAH charged Moses with concerning Israel. Be strong and of good courage. Dread not, nor be dismayed. Now behold, in my trouble I have prepared for the house of AHAYAH 100,000 talents of gold, and 1,000 talents of silver, and of brass and iron without weight. For it is in abundance, timber also and stone have I prepared, and thou mayest add thereto. Moreover, there are workmen with thee in abundance, hewers and workers of stone and timber, and all manner of cunning men for every manner of work. Of the gold, the silver, and the brass, and the iron there is no number. Arise, therefore, and be doing, and Mighty God AHAYAH be with thee. David also commanded all the princes of Israel to help Solomon his son, saying, Is not AHAYAH your El-Elohi with you? And had he not given you rest on every side? For he had given the inhabitants of the land into mine hand, and the land is subdued before AHAYAH and before his people. Now set your heart and your your soul to seek Ahiah your mighty God. Arise therefore and build you the sanctuary of Ahiah mighty God, to bring the ark of the covenant of Ahiah and the holy vessels to mighty God Ahiah, and to the house that is to be built to the name of Ahiah. Chapter 23. So when David was old and full of days, he made Solomon his son king over Israel. And he gathered together all the princes of Israel with the priests and the Levites. Now the Levites were numbered from the age of 30 years and upward, and their number by their polls, man by man, was 38,000, of which 24,000 were to set forward the work of the house of mighty God Ahiah, and 6,000 were officers and judges. Moreover, 4,000 were porters, and 4,000 praised mighty God Ahiah with the instruments which I made, said David, to praise therewith. And David divided them into courses among the sons of Levi, namely Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. Of the Gershonites were Ladan, and Shimei. The sons of Laadan, the chief, was Jahael, and Zetham, and Joel 3. The sons of Shimei, Shelomit, and Hazael, and Haran 3. There were the chief of the fathers of Laadan. And the sons of Shimei were Jahath, Zena, and Jeush, and Beriah. These 4 were the sons of Shimei. And Jahath was the chief, and Ziza the second, but Jeush and Beriah had not many sons. Therefore there were in one reckoning according to their father's house. The sons of Kohath, Amram, Ishar, Hebron, and Uzziel 4. The sons of Amram, Aaron and Moses. And Aaron was separated, that he should sanctify the most holy things, he and his sons forever, to burn incense before mighty God Ahiah, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name forever. Now concerning Moses, the man of mighty God Ahiah, his sons were named of the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses were Gershom and Eleazar. And the sons of Gershom, Shabuel was the chief. The sons of Eleazar were Rehabiah the chief, and Eleazar had none other sons, but the sons of Rehabiah were very many. Of the sons of Ashar, Shelomith the chief. Of the sons of Hebron, Jeriah the first, Amariah the second, and Jahaziel the third, and Jekameam the fourth. Of the sons of Azael, Micah the first, and Jesiah the second. The sons of Merari, Mahli, and Mushi. The sons of Mali, Eleazar, and Kish. And Eleazar died, and had no sons but daughters, and their brethren the sons of Kish took them. The sons of Mishai, Meli, and Eder, and Jeremoth 3. These were the sons of Levi after the house of their fathers, even the chief of the fathers, as they were counted by number of names by their polls, that did the work for the service of the house of mighty God Ahiah from the age of 20 years and upward. For David said, Ahiah, my Elohim of Israel, had given rest unto his people, that they may dwell in Jerusalem forever. And also unto the Levites they shall no more carry the tabernacle, nor any vessels of it for the service thereof. But by the last words of David the Levites were numbered from 20 years old and above, because their office was to wait on the sons of Aaron for the service of the house of mighty God Ahiah, in the courts and in the chambers, and in the purifying of all holy things, and the work of the service of the house of mighty God Ahiah, both for the showbread, and for the fine flour, for meat offering, and for the unleavened cakes, and for that which is baked in the pan, and for that which is fried, and for all manner of measure and size, and to stand every morning to thank and praise Ahiah, and likewise at even. and to offer all burnt sacrifices unto Mighty God AHAYAH in the Sabbaths, in the new moons, and on the set feast by number, according to the order commanded unto them, continually before AHAYAH Mighty God. And they that should keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the holy place, and the charge of the sons of Aaron, their brethren, in the service of the house of AHAYAH. Chapter 24. Now these are the divisions of the sons of Aaron. The sons of Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died before their father, and had no children. Therefore Eleazar and Ithamar executed the priest's office. And David distributed them, both Zadok of the sons of Eleazar and Ahimelech of the sons of Ithamar, according to their offices in their service. And there were more chief men found of the sons of Eleazar than of the sons of Ithamar, and thus were they divided. Among the sons of Eleazar there were 16 chief men of the house of their fathers, and 8 among the sons of Ithamar, according to the house of their fathers. Thus were they divided by lot, one sword with another, for the governors of the sanctuary and governors of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH were of the sons of Eleazar and of the sons of Ithamar. And Shemaiah, the son of Nathaniel, the scribe, one of the Levites, wrote them before the king and the princes, and Zadok the priest. And Ahimelech, the son of Abithar, and before the chief of the fathers of the priests and Levites, one principal, households being taken from Eleazar, and one taken from Ithamar. Now the first lot came forward to Jehoiarib, the second to Jedediah, the third to Harim, the fourth to Seroim, the fifth to Melchijah, Melchijah, the sixth to Mijamin, the seventh to Hakaz, the eighth to Abijah, the ninth to Jeshua, the 10th to Shechaniah, the 11th to Eliashib, the 12th to Jachim, the 13th to Huppah, the 14th to Jeshuab, the 15th to Belgah, the 16th to Immer, the 17th to Hezer, the 18th to Ephsed, the 19th to Pethahiah, the 20th to Jehezekiel, the 21 to Joachim, the 22 to Gamul, the 23 to Delaiah, the 24 to Maaziah. These were the orderings of them in the service to come into the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, according to their manner under Aaron their father, as Mighty God AHAYAH of Israel had commanded him. And the rest of the sons of Levi were these: of the sons of Amram, Shabuel; of the sons of Shabuel, Jehadiah; concerning Rehabiah; of the sons of Rehabiah, the first was Ishiah; of the Isharites, Shalomoth; of the sons of Shalomoth, Jahath; and the sons of Hebron, Jeriah; the first Amariah, the second Jahaziel, the third Jachmeam; the fourth of the sons of Azael, Mecca; of the sons of Mecca, Shemri; the brother of Mecca was Ishiah; of the sons of Ishiah, Zechariah; the sons of Merari were Mahli and Mushai; the sons of Jaaziah, Beno; the sons of Merari by Jaaziah, Benu and Shoham and Zakur and Abri. And Mali came Eleazar, who had no sons. Concerning Kish, the son of Kish was Jeramiel; the sons also of Mushai, Mali and Eder and Jeremoth. These were the sons of the Levites after the house of their fathers. These likewise cast lots over against their brethren, the sons of Aaron, in the presence of David, the king, and Zadok, and Ahimelech, and of the chief of the fathers of the priests and Levites, even the principal fathers, over against their younger brethren. Chapter 25. Moreover, David and the captains of the host separated to the service of the sons of Asaph, and Heman, and of Jeduthun, who should prophesy with harps, with psalteries, and with cymbals, and the number of the workmen according to their service was, of the sons of Asaph, Zaccur, and Joseph, and Nethaniah, and Azraelah, the sons of Asaph, under the hands of Asaph, which prophesied according to the order of the king. Of Jeduthun, the sons of Jeduthun, Gedaliah, and Zeri, and Jeshaniah, Hashabiah, and Mattithiah, 600 in hands of their fathers. Jeduthun, who prophesied with a harp, to give thanks and to praise Mighty God AHAYAH. Of Heman, the sons of Heman, Bechiah, Bettaniah, Azael, Shebuel, and Jeremoth, Hananiah, Hanai, Elathai, Gethatai, and Ramatizer, Jaspakazah, Melathai, Hothar, and Mahazoth. All these were the sons of Heman, the king's seer, in the word of Mighty God AHAYAH, to lift up the horn. Mighty God AHAYAH gave to Heman 14 sons and 3 daughters. All these were under the hands of their father, for song in the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, with cymbals, psalteries, harps, for the service of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, according to the king's order, to Asaph, Jeduthun, and Heman. So the number of them with their brethren that were instructed in the songs of Mighty God AHAYAH, even all that were cunning, was 268. And they cast lots, ward against ward, as well the small as the great, the teacher as the scholar. Now the first lot came forward for Asaph, to Joseph, the second to Gedaliah, who lived with his who with his brethren and sons were 12. The third to Zaccur, who his sons and his brethren were 12. The fourth to Isri, his sons and his brethren were 12. The fifth to Nethaniah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The sixth to Bechiah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The seventh to Jesharela, his sons and his brethren were 12. The eighth to Jeshiah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The ninth to Mattaniah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 10th to Shimei, his sons and his brethren were 12. And 11 to Azrael, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 12th to Hashabiah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 13th to Shubiel, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 14th to Mattithiah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 15th to Jeremoth, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 16th to Hananiah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 17th to Jasbekash, sorry for the name, Jasbekashah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 18th to Hanani, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 19th to Malathi, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 13th to Elatha, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 21st to Hothir, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 22nd to Gethaltai, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 23rd to Mahazaah, his sons and his brethren were 12. The 24th to Ramatizer, his sons and his brethren were 12. Chapter 26. Concerning the divisions of the porters of the Korites was Meshelemiah, the son of Kori, of the sons of Asaph. The sons of Meshelemiah were Zechariah the firstborn, Jadiel the second, Zebadiah the third, Jethanel the fourth, Elam the fifth, Jehohanan the sixth, Elionai the seventh. Moreover, the sons of Obed-Edom were Shemaiah the firstborn, Jehozabad the second, Joah the third, and Sakar the fourth, and Nathaniel the fifth, Amiel the sixth, Issachar the seventh, Puathai the eighth, for Mighty God AHAYAH blessed him. Also unto Shemaiah his sons were sons born that ruled throughout the house of their father, for they were mighty men of valor. The sons of Shemaiah, Othni, and Raphael, and Obed, Elzabad, whose brethren were strong men, Elihu and Shemaiah. All these of the sons of Obed-Edom, they and their sons and their brethren, able men for strength for the service, were 62 of Obed-Edom. And Meshelemiah had sons and brethren, strong men 18. Also Osa of children of Meramai had sons, Zimri the chief, for though he was not the firstborn, yet his father made him the chief. Hilkiah the second, Tebelah the third, Zechariah the fourth. All the sons and brethren of Hosa was 13. Among these were the divisions of the porters, even among the chief men, having wards one against another, to minister in the house of Mighty God AHAYAH. And they cast lots as well, the small as the great, according to the house of their fathers for every gate. And the lot eastward fell to Shelemiah. Then for Zechariah his son, as wise counselor, they cast lots, and his lot came out northward, to Obed-Edom southward, and to his sons the house of Asapim. To Shopim and Hosa the lot came forth westward, with the gate Sheleketh by the causeway of the going upward against ward. Eastward were 6 Levites, northward 4 a day, southward 4 a day, and toward Asapim 2 and 2. And Parbar westward 4 at the causeway, and 2 at Parbar. These are the divisions of the porters among the sons of Kori, and among the sons of Merari. And of the Levites, Ahijah was over the treasure of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, and over the treasures of the dedicated things. And as concerning the sons of Laadan, the sons of the Gershonite, Laadan chief fathers, even of Laadan the Gershonite, were Jehaelai. The sons of Jehaelai, Zethan and Joel, the brother, which were over the treasures of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH. Of the Amramites, and the Ishharites, the Heshbonites, and of the Azaelites, the Shebuel, the son of Gershom, the son of Moses, was ruler of the treasures. And his brethren by Eleazar, Rehabiah his son, and Jeshaiah the son, and Joram his son, and Zachary his son, and Shelomith his son, which Shelomith and his brethren were over all the treasures of the dedicated things, which David the king, and the chief fathers, the captains over thousands and hundreds, and the captains of the host had dedicated. Out of the spoils won in battles did they dedicate, to maintain the house of Mighty God AHAYAH. And all that Samuel the seer, and Saul the son of Kish, and Abner the son of Ner, and Joab the son of Zeruiah Zariah had dedicated, and whosoever had dedicated anything, it was under the hand of Shelomite and of his brethren. Of the Izrahites, Jenaniah and his sons were for the outward business over Israel for officers and judges. And of the Hebronites, Hashabiah and his brethren, men of valor, 1,700 were officers. Among them of Israel, on this side Jordan, westward, in all the business of Mighty God AHAYAH, and in the service of the king. Among the Hebronites was Jerijah the chief, even among the Hebronites, according to the generations of his fathers. In the 40th year of the reign of David they were sought for, and there were found among them mighty men of valor at Jezer of Gilead. And his brethren, men of valor, were 2,700 chief fathers, whom King David made rulers over the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, for every matter pertaining to Mighty God AHAYAH and affairs of the king. Chapter 27. Now the children of Israel after their number, to wit, the chief fathers and captains of thousands and hundreds, and their officers, that served the king in any matter of the courses, which came in and went out month by month through all the months of the year, of every course were 24,000. Over the first course for the first month was Jeshobeam, the son of Zabdiel, and in his course were 24,000. Of the children of Perez was the chief of all the captains of the host for the first month. And over the course of the second month was Dathian, and Horahite, and of his course was Miklot. Also the ruler in his course likewise were 24,000. The third captain of the host for the third month was Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and chief priest, and in his course were 24,000. This is that Benaiah who was mighty among the 30 and above the 30, and in his course was Amazabad his son. The fourth captain for the fourth month was Asahel the brother of Joab, and Zebadiah his son after him, and in his course were 24,000. The fifth captain for the fifth month was Shamhu the Azrahite, and in his course were 24,000. The sixth captain for the sixth month was Ira the son of Ikesh the Tekoite, and in his course were 24,000. The seventh captain for the seventh month was Helez the Pelonite of the children of Ephraim, and in his course were 24,000. The eighth captain for the eighth month was Zibekai the Hishattite of the Zerahites, and in his course were 24,000. The ninth captain for the ninth month was Abijah the Anatothite of the Benjamites, and in his course were 24,000. The 10th captain for the 10th month was Mahari the Netophathite of the Zarites, and in his course were 24,000. The 11th captain for the 11th month was Benaniah the Pirathonite of the children of Ephraim, and in his course were 24,000. The 12th captain for the 12th month was Heldai the Netophathite of Othaniel, and in his course were 24,000. Furthermore, over the tribes of Israel, the ruler of the Reubenites was Eleazar the son of Zikri. Of the Simeonites, Shephatiah the son of Maacah. Of the Levites, Hashabiah the son of Kemuel. Of the Aaronites, Zadok. Of Judah, Eliu, one of the brethren of David. Of Issachar, Amri the son of Michael. Of Zebulun, Ishmaiah the son of Obadiah. Of Naphtali, Jeremoth the son of Azrael. Of the children of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Azariah. Of the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joel the son of Pedaiah. Of the half-tribe of Manasseh in Gilead, Edu the son of Zechariah. Of Benjamin, Jaasiel the son of Abner. Of Dan, Azariel the son of Jehoram. These were the princes of the tribes of Israel. But David took not the number of them from 20 years old and under, because Mighty God AHAYAH said he would increase Israel like to the stars of the heavens. Joab the son of Zeruiah began to number, but he finished not, because there fell wrath for it against Israel. Neither was the number put in the count of the Chronicles of King David. And over the king's treasuries was Asmaveth the son of Adiel, and over the storehouses in the fields, in the cities and in the villages and in the castles, was Jehanadan the son of Uzziah. And over them did the work of the field for tillage of the ground was Isri the son of Caleb. And over the vineyards was Shimei the Ramathite. Over the increase of the vineyards for the wine cellars was Zabdi the Shifmite. And over the olive trees and the sycamore trees that were in the low plains was Baal Hanan the Gederite. And over the cellars of oil was Joash. And over the herds that fed in Sharon was Shitri the Sharonite. And over the herds that were in the valleys was Shaphat the son of Adlai. Over the camels also was Obil the Ishmaelite, and over the asses were Jehadiah the Meronothite. And over the flocks was Jaziz the Hagarite. All these were the rulers of the substance which was King David's. Also Jonathan, David's uncle, was a counselor, a wise man, and a scribe. And Jahaziel the son of Hakmonai was with the king's sons. And Ahithophel was the king's counselor, and Hushai and Archite was the king's companion. And after Ahithophel was Jehoiada the son of Benaiah, and Abiathar, and the general of the king's army was Joab. Chapter 28. And David assembled all the princes of Israel, the princes of the tribes, and the captains of the companies that ministered to the kings by course, and the captains over the thousands, and the captains over the hundreds, and the stewarders over the substance and the possession of the king and of his sons, with the officers and with the mighty men, and with all the valiant men unto Jerusalem. Then David the king stood up upon his feet, and said, Hear me, my brethren, and my people. As for me, I had in my heart to build an house of rest for the ark of the covenant of Mighty God AHAYAH, and for the footstool of our mighty God, and had made ready for the building. But AHAYAH our mighty God said unto me, Thou shalt not build an house for my name, because thou hast been a man of war, and hast shed blood. Howbeit AHAYAH El Elohi of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever. For he hath chosen Judah to be the ruler, and of the house of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father he liked me to make me king over all Israel. And of all my sons, for Mighty God AHAYAH had given me many sons, he had chosen Solomon, my son, to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of Mighty God AHAYAH over Israel. And he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father. Moreover, I will establish his kingdom forever, if he be constant to do my commandments, and my judgments, as at this day. Now therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the congregation of Mighty God AHAYAH, and in the audience of our Mighty God, keep and seek for all the commandments of AHAYAH our Mighty God, that you may possess this good land and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever. And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou that Mighty God AHAYAH of thy fathers, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For Mighty God AHAYAH searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee, but if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Take heed now, for Mighty God AHAYAH hath chosen thee to build an house for the sanctuary. Be strong and do it. Then David gave to Solomon his son the pattern of the porch and of the houses thereof, and of the treasuries thereof, and of the upper chambers thereof, and of the inner parlors thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat, and the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit of the court of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, and of all the chambers round about, of the treasuries of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, and of the treasuries of the dedicated things. Also for the courses of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, and for all the vessels of service in the house of AHAYAH. He gave of gold by weight for things of gold, for all instruments of all manner of service. Silver also for all instruments of silver by weight, for all instruments of every kind of service, even the weight for the candlesticks of gold, and for their lamps of gold by weight for every candlestick, and for the lamps thereof, and for the candlesticks of silver by weight, both for the candlestick and also for the lamps thereof, according to the use of every candlestick. And by the weight he gave gold for the tables of showbread, for every table, and likewise silver for the tables of silver. Also pure gold for the flesh hooks, and the bowls, and the cups. And for the golden basins he gave gold by weight for every basin, and likewise silver by weight for every basin of silver. And for the altar of incense refined gold by weight, and gold for the pattern of the chariot of the cherubims that spread out their wings, and covered the ark of the covenant of AHAYAH. All this, said David, Mighty God AHAYAH made me understand in writing by his hand upon me, even all the works of this pattern. And David said to Solomon his son, Be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for Mighty God AHAYAH, your Elohim, even my mighty God, will be with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee, until thou hast finished all the work for the service of the house of AHAYAH. And behold, the courses of the priests and the Levites, even they shall be with thee for all the service of the house of God. And there shall be with thee for all manner of workmanship, every willing, skillful man for any manner of service. Also the princes and all the people will be wholly at thy commandment. Chapter 29. Furthermore, David the king said unto all the congregation, Solomon my son, whom alone Mighty God AHAYAH had chosen, is yet young and tender, and the work is great. For the palace is not for man, but for Mighty God AHAYAH, our Elohim. Now I have prepared with all my might for the house of my God, the gold for things to be made of gold, and the silver for things of silver, and the brass for things of brass, and the iron for things of iron, and wood for things of wood, onyx, stones, and stones to be set, glittering stones, and of diverse colors, and all manner of precious stones, and marble stones in abundance. Moreover, because I have set my affection to the house of my mighty God AHAYAH, I have of mine own proper good of gold and silver, which I have given to the house of my mighty God AHAYAH, over and above all that I have prepared for the holy house. Even 3,000 talents of the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver, to overlay the walls of the houses withal, the gold for things of gold, and the silver for things of silver, and for all manner of work to be made by the hands of artificers, and who then is willing to consecrate his service this day unto Mighty God AHAYAH? Then the chief of the fathers and princes of the tribes of Israel, and the captains of the thousands and of hundreds, with the rulers of the king's work, offered willingly, and gave for the service of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH of gold 5,000 talents, and 10,000 drams, and of silver 10,000 talents, and of brass 18,000 talents, and 100,000 talents of iron. And they with whom precious stones were found gave them to the treasure of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, by the hand of Jehariel the Gershonite. Then the people rejoiced, for that they offered willingly, because with perfect heart they offered willingly to Mighty God AHAYAH. And David the king also rejoiced with great joy. Wherefore David blessed AHAYAH before all the congregation. And David said, Blessed be thou, AHAYAH, El Elohim of Israel, our Father, forever and ever. Thine mighty God AHAYAH is the greatness, and the power, and the glory, and the victory, and the majesty, for all that is in the heaven and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O AHAYAH, and thou art exalted as head above all. Both riches and honor come of thee, and thou reignest over all. And in thine hand is power and might, and in thine hand it is to make great, and to give strength unto all. Now therefore, our El Elohim AHAYAH, we thank thee, and praise thy glorious name. But who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able to offer to so willingly after this sort? For all things come of thee, and of thine own have we given thee. For we are strangers before thee, and sojourners, as we all our fathers, our days on the earth, or as a shadow, and there is none abiding. O AHAYAH, our El Elohim, our mighty God, all this store that we have prepared to build thee an house for thine holy name, cometh of thine hand, and is all thine own. I know also, my God, that thou triedest the heart, and hast pleasure in uprightness. As for me, in the uprightness of my heart I have willingly offered all these things. And now I have seen with joy thy people, which are present here, to offer willingly unto thee. O AHAYAH, mighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, our fathers, keep this forever in the imagination of the thoughts of the heart of thy people, and prepare thy heart unto thee. And give unto Solomon my son a perfect heart, to keep thy commandments, thy testimonies, and thy statutes, and to do all these things, and to build the palace for the which I have made provision. And David said to all the congregation, Now bless AHAYAH your mighty God. And all the congregation blessed AHAYAH, mighty God of their fathers, and bowed down their heads and worshiped AHAYAH and the king. And they sacrificed sacrifices unto AHAYAH, and offered burnt offerings unto AHAYAH on the morrow after that day, even 1,000 bullocks, 1,000 rams, and 1,000 lambs, with their drink offerings, and sacrifices in abundance for all Israel. And did eat and drink before AHAYAH on that day with great gladness. And they made Solomon the son of David king the second time, and anointed him unto mighty God AHAYAH to be the chief governor, and Zadok to be priest. Then Solomon sat on the throne of mighty God AHAYAH as king instead of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. And all the princes and the mighty men, and all the sons likewise of King David, submitted themselves unto Solomon the king. And mighty God AHAYAH magnified Solomon exceedingly in the sight of all Israel, and bestowed upon him such royal majesty as had not been on any king before him in Israel. Thus David, the son of Jesse, reigned over all Israel. The time that he reigned over Israel was 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And he died in a good old age, full of days, riches, and honor, and Solomon his son reigned in his stead. Now the acts of David the king, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of Samuel the seer, and in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the book of Gad the seer, with all his reign and his might, and the times that went over him, and over Israel, and over all the kingdoms of the countries. And that is the end of the First Chronicles. Thank you for listening.